Okay, we will go ahead and call our
tell you about
Madison School Board
It gets better.
meeting to order here, and we'll start by saying the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
Here.
Mr. Mosier?
Here.
Mrs. McKinney?
Here.
Ms. Amy Walker? And Mr. Wigton?
Here. We need a motion to adopt our agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? We have a addendum as well there. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Mrs. McKinney?
4.
And Mr. Wigton?
4. We need to approve our previous board meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. McKinney?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Mr. Wigton?
4. We have no certificates to present.
None tonight.
Okay. Item F, our legislative report.
No report.
Okay. Athletic Board of Control has not met. Student representative. Tammy.
Hi, everybody. I just want to thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I would first like to introduce myself. My name is Cammie. I'm a senior at the high school, and I'm student council president this year. I do play volleyball, and I also throw for the track team. So our season's over, as well as all the other fall sports except for soccer, so the cross country, boys soccer, football, golf, and tennis. The girls do play tonight, their district semifinal game against Vermillion, and this year is going to be a little different in like supporting them. You know, we had the big pep rallies last year and everything, but with COVID, we're not really sure what we're going to be able to do. So we're going to try to figure out a way to support them differently this year as they go on their state run again. Along with football, won their last game on Friday, which was a huge deal. But the band and the cheerleaders and the Ramettes also concluded their season that night, which a shout out to them for all of their dances and the cheers that they made, because it's really entertaining to watch them too, as well as the football team. Student council just recently got done. They allowed the seniors to paint their parking spots this year, so it was kind of a new thing. It was a big deal. It's actually really, really fun. The parking spots look really good. I don't know if any of you have seen them yet, but and Key Club is also selling boo bags, which are these little bags of candy for Halloween. So we're trying to find some COVID-friendly activities for the clubs to do. Last Friday ended the grading period, and although the first quarter's kind of been a little bit of a learning curve, it's been really exciting to hear students say that they've gotten really good grades, and that considering the circumstances, how hard it's been, it's good to hear that students actually grasp the stuff that we're learning. And just lastly, I'd like to say that we understand how tough it is for the administration right now, and we really appreciate everything that they're doing over at the high school to keep us safe and keep the community safe. I think that's all I have. Thank you guys for your time, and I hope you guys have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cammie.
She's a lively one.
Facilities report.
Mr. President, quickly, I just hit on a few things for you. The treasurer, Mrs. Klink, and I met with a fellow on a conference call yesterday and discussed a grant from the Department of Energy that is up to a $215,000 grant for facility energy improvements. So what we're looking at and talking about targeting would be some of the district boilers. We have some that are over 40 years old, and some that are 35, 36 years old, so those would be the ones that we'd probably target for replacement. Other than that, The new chiller installation started at the high school. We hope to complete that middle of next week. And then we have been busy preparing for the 2 auctions that'll be upcoming, one for the Jesse Beer property located on Ball Avenue, and the other for a lot of the contents that were left over from Jesse Beer and around the different district buildings. And that'll be kicking off, the property auction begins after the first week of November and ends on the 23rd. The contents auction starts on the 25th and ends on December 4th. So we'll be preparing for that. That's all.
So the auction isn't listed online yet.
They're both online, that's correct.
How in the world do I find it?
What's that?
How do I find it? You
Okay,
don't-
well, it's at Charles Miller Auctioneers.
Yeah,
And so at their site, they'll have everything, and they'll also be advertising it in the local papers with all the sites and everything to visit for the auction.
like, can we follow the bidding and stuff on it or not?
I would assume so, because like any other auction, you know, if you put a bid in on Monday and it goes till Friday, you can look on Wednesday and see, okay, you've been overbid by this much, and decide if you want to raise your bid or.
But I didn't know if when I wasn't bidding, which I'm not bidding, if
Yeah.
I could
I mean,
still watch.
I'll be 100% honest with you, I don't know that. I meet with him tomorrow, and that'll be one of the things that I ask him is about access, and if we can have access, or, you know, just to get the full idea. I've never done an online auction before. We've always had them in person, but of course,
Yeah.
because of the circumstances. He said he's had really good luck with them, and has actually, he says, a lot of people who wouldn't necessarily be free to come out on a single afternoon and spend a day there will set and bid multiple times, you know, and he's got good returns out of them, so.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No,
Thank you.
I don't think so. Thank you. Anything with our board policy committee?
No.
Okay. Student achievement?
Student achievement. I don't know how you guys stay up with all the new stuff they're coming out with on teaching online. I mean, I'm not the teacher, I'm just a board member, but there's constantly things coming for different seminars and stuff to take, so your brains must be on overload. They have to be.
Superintendent's update.
I do have a couple items to update you on. As Cammie alluded to, we did conclude the first quarter on Friday, and compiled some data from our building administrators regarding honor roll. And we had, overall in the district, 31% of our students, and that would be in the building grades 3 to 12 and online grades K to 12, made the honor roll. So very encouraged with that information. Specifically, 27% of our online students received all A's and B's, and 39% of our 3rd through 12th graders in the building were on the honor roll. So very encouraged by those numbers, especially in light of all of the new protocols and all the other things going on. Had a lot of success with our students in the first quarter. Also want to let you know that families who intend to move their students from face-to-face learning to online learning, as well as we're going to get intent forms from all of the families of students who are currently in the online academy for what their intent is for the second semester. So that information will be going out to parents, and we will have that available to provide their intent to us starting on October 29th, which is tomorrow, and running through November 11th to complete that information. So if students are currently in the building face-to-face and they intend to stay that way, there's no action needed from those parents. But if they are face-to-face and they want to transition to online for the second semester, they will need to complete an intent form for that. And then all online academy parents, regardless of whether they're staying online or they want their kids back in the building face-to-face for the second semester, they will need to complete an intent form. So we want to get that information by mid-November so that we can make staffing adjustments as necessary. Also want to let you know that the district newsletter is complete. Our fall newsletter will be, it has gone to the printer and should come out into the community. Community members should be receiving that in approximately 2 weeks. And that's all that I have. Thank you.
Great. Okay, presentations. Mr. Stump, Mifflin Elementary.
Good evening, everybody. This is probably my least favorite presentation because I don't have kids with me this year. So it's not, I don't know, it's different this year. But I was able to get the kids involved, as you'll see behind you, so I apologize for the constant turning and coming back. When I told the kids they'd be presenting, they were really excited. And when I told them that they'd be videotaped, then they got nervous. So just bear with us, but we're really excited. So again, I apologize for you guys having to keep turning back and forth, but I hope you enjoy it. So the first thing we want to address, of course, is our school safety.
To stay safe in school, there are rules to follow. Walk clockwise. It can be tough to swallow. We sanitize, stay apart, wear our masks each day. We understand that is for the healthy way.
So as Daniel so greatly showed you, we are definitely taking school safety very seriously this year. Some of the things, these are just some of the things that we have come up with. And when I say we, I mean it was a combination of teachers, of aid support, coming together to really see what can we do at Mifflin. Something that's probably very specific to Mifflin is that we are walking clockwise and clockwise only in the hallway, so therefore students are not crossing. And we didn't know if that was going to work or not, but we've gone through our first quarter and it does work. So it's very successful and our kids can just walk in one direction and we're not bumping into each other or being overcrowded in the hallways. Every single classroom has a sanitation station right outside, so before the kids enter in, they can sanitize their hands. Something that's new this year is that one grade level has lunch at a time and one grade level has recess at a time. So the grade levels are separated during that time. We also have a limited number of students in our restrooms. Like all the schools, we have temperature checks every morning, and we have assigned socially distanced seating at lunch. Something else you can see in the very cute toddler pictured above, that's my daughter. She modeled for our students this year in our video the importance of bringing water as well. We did have a bottled water drive at Mifflin, and the community support was overwhelming. So when kids run out of water in the day, we do have water to fill up their water bottles right at school, and that was important for us.
We couldn't say goodbye to our teachers in person. It was hard to see how the situation could worsen. The teachers made a fit to help us say goodbye. Everyone teared up. There was no eye dry.
So our staff goodbyes were very important to us at the end of last year, especially working in an elementary school, in any school really, but especially in elementary, those relationships are so important. And so our staff, they did make a video where they each said a goodbye message that we posted for the community to watch. Something else the teachers did is they all wrote one of those words and we created a sentence just to let the kids know that yes, we are healthy and we're wishing you health and safety and love as well. And again, it's just trying to end the school year on a positive note. Last year it was strange. We know, especially with elementary kids, there's probably some fear involved. So we just wanted to show them that we too were okay and we were going to be there throughout the entire process with them.
We couldn't end the year without it. With the school building closed, we were sad, no lie. The last day of school, we had a huge parade, signs, cheers, and treats, and all the teachers and aides.
So we had to see a real student send-off this year, and this was a lot of fun. We had our Mifflin PTO, they sponsored a treat for our kids, and we also combined this with our fourth grade graduation, but it was for all students. There was a special time just for our fourth grade students to graduate, because we couldn't have it inside the building. It was attended by over 75% of our Mifflin families, which was great to see. And you can see there's just a few examples of how our cars were decorated. Many horns, many honkings, many tears were shed during that time because that was really the first time we could see them as they drove past us in our parking lot. So that was a very special moment for sure.
With the school building closed, we weren't able to sing. We couldn't dance or shout. We couldn't do a thing. Our talent show was our acts. They went online. We took a big bow. We really did fine.
Our Mifflin's Got Talent show is a new tradition at Mifflin we've had for a few years now. We thought it was important to try to remain as normal as we possibly could, so we had students submit a virtual entry if they chose to participate. It was really neat because we weren't limited to what they could actually do at the school during this time. So as you can see, we had one of our students show us tricks on his trampoline, which was really a neat thing to see. Singing acts, tricks, jokes, impressions. It was a really good time, and we decided that there would be no winner. They were all winners, given the circumstances. So we're just really proud to see how brave they were, and especially for submitting something that could be posted online.
We are able to feast with our awesome dads, uncles, and brothers thanks to donuts we had. We appreciate what they do for us each day. Donuts and dads is here to stay.
I have to start this one out by apologizing to our moms. We had planned for Muffins with Mom in the spring, and that, of course, did not happen. So moms, please know your time is coming. We did have our Donuts with Dads, though, in the fall. Again, this was kind of led and sponsored by our PTO. Very thankful to our PTO officers and Mifflin staff members that helped run the event, because we couldn't have done it without them. Our attendance rate for our Donuts with Dads was over 90%, so it was a very busy and wonderful day. And like I said, our plan is to make it up to our awesome Mifflin moms as soon as possible.
Deputy Keener comes out once a week. We learn about behaviors that we should seek. We are aware, we learn, and we become scholars. Our DARE program is worth $1 million.
And if you're wondering why she's holding a microphone, that student has a building leadership role of doing announcements every morning. She's a second grader. She's had it since she's been in kindergarten. So she is just the voice of Mifflin, and so the kids know her as that. So we had to kind of highlight her with her microphone that she uses all the time. But we do have our DARE program for our fourth grade, and that's going very well. We will have their DARE graduation prior to winter break, and we did decide we will have a virtual graduation where, of course, the students can be there and the families can watch it online.
We had a musical about what it means to fit in. Being bullied never works when you think win-win. We learn to be different is a great thing to be. We learn love, it's our motto, you see.
This was an amazing opportunity. I'm really glad Mifflin was presented with. One of our second grade teachers, Mrs. Melissa Moody, she approached me saying that there was this play that was going around different districts, and it talked about anti-bullying. And for elementary kids, that can be a hard concept to grasp. And so they presented it in a way that was fun and engaging and really did a great job of communicating that to our students. Mrs. Moody's daughter is actually the young lady in blue, and it was just top quality. A lot of these students had been in the Renaissance plays before, so we were all just kind of blown away by their talent. And we use this to tie into our house meetings that we have quarterly and review some of our 7 habits of happy students.
For the winter play, third graders were toys, dancers, crayons, and cowboys. We sang and hoped that Santa would be near, his sleigh bells did ring with a gleeful cheer.
Again, we didn't get to have a spring musical, but we did have our winter musical. And a special thank you goes to Mrs. Freitag. She's our music teacher at Mifflin. And the performances that she puts on is truly outstanding. So this was the one they did, Toys, before last winter break. And Mrs. Freitag and I had a conversation, and we're going to collaborate together because our plan, once again, is to have virtual musicals. So while the families cannot come inside the building, they'll still have the opportunity to see their children in action because this is important. And as you can see, the quality of what Mrs. Freitag produces is top-notch.
We love our military, they do it all. We wanted to show it to answer the call. Singing for the vets, a project for the base. We earned our purple star, we set a good pace.
As I presented last time, Purple Star is very important to Mifflin. Our veteran families are top-notch, and we want to recognize them and support their families as much as we possibly can. What you see pictured is the Veterans Day Assembly from last school year. It was something that helped us to earn our Purple Star, one of the things we had to do. And once again, led by Mrs. Freitag. It was just an outstanding performance. And again, this year, we still plan on having it on November 11th, but it will be virtual again. So that is still underway for this school year, because that is a central pillar of our school for sure.
We entered a bee throughout the county. A large trophy was promised us the gold of bounty. We had 3 students in the top 10. When it comes to spelling, there's always power in the pen.
I really like my first point on this one because, as you can see, they're really shy. The students of Mifflin, they're not. But they were very proud of them and their dedication and work by the students and by the teachers for practicing their spelling. They did a wonderful job, and we will be entering the 3rd grade spelling bee again this year.
Setting our goals is a thing to do. In our leadership notebooks, we grab just a few. In reading and math and other subjects too, we set lead measures to show how we grew.
Very central to part of last year and definitely this year is our students setting goals. They will each have a student data binder where they can set their goal and act upon them and track them throughout the entire school year. We are definitely using the 4 disciplines of execution, which kind of tells you how to set a goal, how to create lead measures, meaning what will you do to achieve your goal, keep a compelling scoreboard, and then set up a system of accountability. We're really going to focus this year on the first 2 of those, how to set a goal properly and how to set and act on those lead measures. This year we do plan on setting our goals for English language arts, math, and behavior.
Earning our points, our goal is 7. When we get them all, it's like a gift from heaven. We work for them, so we earn a reward. We are focused, demented, and we're never bored.
Our PBIS is always growing, and we're always trying to tweak it to see how we can make it better for everybody. This year, we're keeping our point system, and we are aiming for a daily goal of 7. They can get 3 points in the morning, 1 point for a special, and then 3 points in the afternoon, based on the choices they make throughout the day. There is a goal, again, for their behavior, where if they meet their goal for the quarter, they are invited to a leadership celebration. That's actually occurring in just a couple weeks. We are having sight word bingo. So the kids are really excited. It's so make it educational, but make it something fun that they can enjoy, and of course there'll be prizes involved. We're still having our houses, and the house that earns the most points will win a pizza party. I was able to announce on Monday that was our blue house. They were very excited. And this year, for the first time, we have a system. We listened to our parents, and they said they really wanted one system of communication. Previously, we had been using a few different ones, but we found a system that combines both the communication piece and our behavior tracking piece. So they are only accessing one thing, and that seems to be a popular thing to where they only have to do it one time.
Into one of the 4 houses that we are sorted each year into one of the 4 colors that we hold dear. Our points are tallied to see who wins. Each quarter, our quest to win will begin.
We did have our sorting ceremony early this school year. We did do it only by grade levels to keep the grade levels separate so they weren't all clustered in the gym with one another. This year we decided to have confetti that would rain down on the kids with their house color. That's how they found out what house they would be in. After getting rained down with confetti, they did receive a colored house lanyard, and that is useful so they aren't losing their mass. That way they can clip it right to their lanyard, we can see what house they're in, and we're not losing mass throughout the day. So it's really a win-win for everyone.
Every 9 weeks, we meet our houses 4 to learn the 7 habits, practice some more. We are beginning to proactive by going to a meeting, but it's hard to win-win while at home sleeping.
Our house meetings were really something that we embraced last year. This year, we're not having them because we are not trying to intermingle the different grade levels. We hope to restart that as soon as possible, but every quarter, the students have an opportunity to meet with their house or we review some sort of character trait. And it's really something that the kids love because not only are they learning something, there's also some fun activity involved to review that trait. And it's a great time for some of our younger kids to see some older peer role models. It's a great time for them to come together and see that. But like I said, that's on hold for now, but hopefully we'll resume those as soon as we possibly can.
Each time we show that we are a leader, we get called to the office by the announcement reader. Which habit did we rock and which one did we do? So end up in the office for a photo or two.
This is something that I take great pride in for both the students and the staff. Last year, for the 3 quarters that we had a ratio of positive students sent to the office versus discipline records of 10-1, something that I was very proud of last year. But as of quarter 1 this school year, we're at a ratio of 19-1. That's how many kids are being sent down for their great choices that they make every day at Mifflin. To be considered to be a master of Mifflin, they have to have a 7-point day. That's a minimum. But then it's not just having a 7-point day, but doing something truly spectacular. So it's wonderful that I find it difficult to find all the time to meet all the kids, which I do, but what a great problem to have. What a great issue to have that there's so many positive students being sent to me, that I have to make sure I find that time for them every day, which I do, and very proud of them. And if you're wondering, well, why? Like, how's your ratio so high? I attribute it to the great student choices that they're making. The staff is very empathetic, especially during this time. They're really trying to relate to the kids. And we have a great system of PBIS that, again, it's being refined every year to try to see how can we improve it and just make it so it's best for everybody. So it's a great number to see.
As a group, we decided to find our voice to contribute to the school so we could have some choice. At conferences we served our parents with pride, good news or bad news, taken in stride.
Our Student Lighthouse team, they're really something like a student council, a traditional student council. For our leadership celebrations, they actually helped plan and implement all of our celebrations that we had for the first 3 quarters. We also decided to take issues directly to the Student Lighthouse team, where if the staff felt there was something that needed solved, we took it to the kids and asked for their ideas. And they think of stuff that we don't think of. And that's kind of cool to see, a second grader come up with ideas that I, as a principal, didn't even consider. So that was really neat. And the one picture there, they are actually at conferences a year ago, and they were serving drinks, coffee and water to parents. They said to try to soften the blows of conferences. I'm not sure, but they did volunteer their time to support the families.
So that was our year learning all the same, to stay safe and learn, that is our aim. What we hope to have is a school to be in. We learn love, we rock and Mifflin. To our awesome board, thank you for your time. It's been a little tough to think of all these rhymes. It's been our pleasure to present our school to you. We are Madison proud, Mifflin proud too.
All right, and that about wraps it up. Any questions?
Very cute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nathan.
At this time, the superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the donation of $1,039.95 from the Mifflin PTO to Mifflin Elementary for teacher supplies to be used for the school year. Do we have a motion to accept that?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? I'd like to thank the Mifflin PTO for their efforts. I know they all work in all the buildings. Roll call, please.
Ms. Amy Walker?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Or I'm sorry. I
Okay.
go back. Mrs. McGinney?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
And Mr. Wigton?
4. Our treasurer's report. Motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Anything we need to be especially aware of?
Nope, not this month. Next month will be the 5-year.
Okay.
Be the-
Roll call, please.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Mrs. McGinney?
4.
Ms. Amy Walker?
4.
And Mr. Wigton?
4. Next is item J, which is in the main agenda, as well as the addendum. Do we have a motion to approve those?
Motion to accept.
And a second? Whichever.
Second.
I'll second.
Discussion.
I'd just like to comment on a couple retirements. Johnny Gibson, a custodian, is retiring after 17 years of work in the district, working at Madison South, the high school in Mifflin, and just like to thank him publicly for his services over those 17 years. And also Lori Green, who has been head cook at the high school, retiring after 20 years in the district. She has worked at South, Eastview, Mifflin, and the high school. So also like to thank her publicly for her service to the district.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Mrs. McGinney?
4.
Ms. Amy Walker?
4.
Mr. Wigton?
4. Next is superintendent's business. Is there anything there particular you want to address?
Just number one there, the revision to the reopening plan. That item will not take effect until the beginning of the second semester, and wanted to give ourselves some flexibility if in fact Richland County would go to level 4 on the health advisory system, as opposed to saying we will close school. It's being revised to we may close school if we go to purple. At that time, we will have more specific data that we'll be able to look at that looks a lot closer at our community, our school district, to be able to make that decision.
Hopefully people continue to make good choices so we can stay open.
Absolutely.
Did we do a second and a,
We didn't do a motion yet or a
we
second.
didn't, I'm sorry.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
And I guess we've had our discussion, so doing it backwards. Roll call, please.
Ms. Amy Walker?
4.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Mrs. McGinney?
4.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Mr. Wigton?
4. I don't think we have any visitors left who haven't addressed us yet, unless the media has something to share. We'll move on to President's business, and our next meeting has been changed from the last Wednesday to the third Wednesday because of the holiday week. So we will meet on November 18th. And with that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? Jane
Se-
seconded. Aye.
Who did? Jane?
Yes.
Thank you.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mrs. Melissa Walker?
4.
Mrs. McGinney?
4.
Mr. Mosier?
4.
Ms. Amy Walker?
4.
Mr. Wigton?
4. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.